Well, good afternoon and welcome to H360 Live. My name is Dave Duplay and I'm joined here in the studio with Cortland Long. Good afternoon, Cortland.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, we've got a great show for you today. We've got Adam Berger coming in. Adam is the founder of a company called ezbds, very innovative company. We're going to learn all about that. But before we have Adam come in, as promised, I promised everyone last week we were going to address 4 more strange but true health tips. We're going to do that now, and if you notice to the right of your screen, we've got the chat function. We want to know what you think about these health tips. So the first strange but true health tip is skip the energy drink when you're tired. Now, that is counterintuitive to me. I'm always grabbing that energy drink when I'm tired. Cortland, why shouldn't I grab that energy drink?
Well, energy drinks have about 5 times more caffeine than coffee, and I know you might think that's going to be better, but often that boost is going to be quick and it's going to be fleeting, leaving you causing you to feel nervous, irritable, and with a rapid heart rate. Now, that rapid heart rate also is due in part to the fact that energy drinks have high levels of taurine, which is a central nervous system stimulant. So these drinks also have about 50 grams of sugar. To further quantify that, that is about 13 teaspoons of sugar. Can you imagine putting 13 teaspoons of sugar in your morning coffee? That's kind of a lot. So the spike in blood sugar is going to give you a rapid crash and leave you causing even more sluggish and foggy-headed than before.
13 teaspoons of sugar. That is a lot. Irritability, a rapid heart rate, spiking, crashing. Not for me. Let's move on to the second strange but true health tip. This is a good one. Drink water when bloated. When I'm bloated, I'm not going for the water. I'm not going to go for the energy drink now either. But why should we not, or why should we drink water, Cortland, when we're bloated?
Well, if you're on a high fiber diet, especially your body needs more water to function efficiently. So the water mixes with soluble fiber, which affects the motility of the gut and reduces the symptoms of bloating. Also, did you know that when you're dehydrated, your body is going to hold on to every drop of water you have, causing you to puff up? So you can relieve bloating by drinking even more water when you're dehydrated.
The body is an amazing thing. It's holding onto the water when you're bloated, that precious water. A high fiber diet, drinking water, also going to keep you regular. Let's move on to the next one. We want to hear, chat it up. It's to the right of you. Chat in that stream. Don't forget the hashtag Real Stories. We want to hear what you guys think of these strange but true health tips. Cortland, the next one is ditch the diet soda when you want to lose weight. And I'm not sure I get this one. If I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to have a soda, it's going to be diet, but there's something that these guys from Johns Hopkins found that's saying no. What is it?
Yeah, so this is a very interesting one. I think it's a little bit of a mind trick. When overweight and obese adults drink diet soda, they tend to consume many more calories from food. And diet soda drinkers have about a 70% greater increase in waist circumference than non-diet soda drinkers. Now, this mind trick kind of comes into play that when you think you're drinking something with 0 calories, you might then tend to cheat a little bit on your dinner calorie budget and possibly order the French fries or something less healthy. It's also important to keep in mind when we're grocery shopping that labels such as light, low sugar, low fat doesn't always mean fewer calories.
Yeah, that is something, right? It is a mind trick. Skip the diet soda, and you're going to lose weight. So I will take that diet soda and supersize those fries. Just kidding, not for me. Chat it up to the right. We want to hear you. Hashtag Real Stories. Our last strange but true health tip is drink a hot beverage to cool off. I'm not sure I understand that one. I know you at home are clamoring to find out. Drink a hot beverage to cool off. Cortland, why would we want to do that?
So this comes from cultures where drinking hot tea on hot days is more the norm, such as India. Hot coffee and hot tea is going to actually cool you a little faster than drinking iced coffee or iced tea. When you're sipping on a hot beverage on a hot day, it causes your body to sense a change in temperature, which will cause you to sweat. Now, I know that might sound gross, but when the sweat evaporates off your body, it's cooling you naturally.
Yeah, naturally cooling you down, drinking the hot tea on a hot day to cool off. By the way, just for the record, I don't sweat, I perspire, and that was the last of your strange but true health tips. And now, this is my favorite part of the show because we've got a guest coming in. It's Adam Berger. He has come a long way, and he's done a great job at this mobile app. We're going to hear all about it. His company is ezbds. But before Adam comes in, I've got a couple of stats I want to go over with you, because as I was preparing for the interview today, the whole people living with diabetes, it's a big problem. So let me go over a couple of stats that I learned. The first one is over 30 million people in the U.S. are living with diabetes. Now, Cortland, I really thought that was a big number until I heard over 300 million people worldwide living with diabetes. That's a lot of finger pricks. That's a lot of needles. To be exact, it's estimated 3 to 15 finger sticks a day, and estimated 3 to 5 injections per day. And did you know that prior to 1922, the only effective treatment for diabetes was starvation? That's hard to believe. Thank goodness for modern medicine. Also, the estimated rate of depression among people living with diabetes is twice that of the general population. And get ready for this, because it's a big number. Over $245 billion is spent on diabetes products annually in the U.S. alone. That's a really, really big number to me. Well, Adam, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to have you. We have so many things to ask you and to uncover here, so let's get started.
Adam, we're really excited to hear about ezbds, but first, can you tell us a little bit about your journey with diabetes? Did you experience any of the early warning signs, such as drinking excessive amounts of water, urinating often?
Definitely. First, thank you so much for having me here. Looking back on it, I experienced a lot of the early symptoms of diabetes. I just had no idea at the time that that's what was going on. I was busy having a great time at school at WashU in St. Louis, and I didn't really put everything together.
So what were some of those warning signs you were?
So I was thirsty all the time. I was urinating all the time. I went from almost never being tired and being able to go on all the time to really frequently being very fatigued. So those are definitely some of the key warning signs of diabetes.
And did you get to the doctor right away? How were you diagnosed?
Actually, I came home for winter break from my senior year of college. And towards the end of winter break, I was out to lunch with my mom. And she made just kind of an offhand comment, "Gee, you're drinking a lot of water. I hope you don't have diabetes." She knew all about it because my dad has been a diabetic for 20 or 25 years. So that night I looked up the symptoms of diabetes on the internet and was really pretty freaked out because they were describing me almost exactly.
You're checking them right down the list.
Everything. That's me. Wow, yeah, that's me too. That's me too. So the next day, my dad came home and I told him, I think I need to get checked for diabetes. And his initial response was, you're a young, healthy guy. I don't think that's likely, but we can check you right now. So since he had diabetes, he had a glucose test kit, and I did a glucose test. That was my first of almost 10,000 finger pricks that I've done since. And it came up, it was about 3 or 4 hours after I'd last eaten, and I was 250 milligrams per deciliter. So a non-diabetic would probably be quite a bit below 100, something around 70 or 80.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was definitely very elevated. Saw a doctor the next day and confirmed what I kind of already knew.
And did you start working with a certified diabetes educator?
So initially I didn't. I was working with my doctor at school, and I was very fortunate to have a dad who had been through a lot of that, so he kind of helped show me the way a bit. But I didn't initially work with a certified diabetes educator. Since then, I've gotten to know quite a few, and it really would have been a great idea.
And at the beginning, being in college, how were you managing your diabetes? Was it a difficult change?
It was definitely a difficult change. It's a condition that really impacts every aspect of your life. So eating is completely different, and exercising is very different. Stress, now you can see a measurable effect that has on your health. At the same time, I've always been kind of a math and computer geek. So I was looking at all this information that I had and thought, you know, this is kind of interesting. I bet I can learn something more about my body and understand more about how this disease is affecting me.
Interesting. So you were working at Bloomberg, right? And as you say, you're a self-proclaimed computer geek, math geek. And at Bloomberg, as I understand it from our conversation, you're responsible for looking at disparate sets of data and integrating those data points to be used to make business decisions. And so when you looked at what the data elements or all the data that you were looking at living with diabetes, I think you mentioned exercise and stress and glucose and diet. What did you see? How, and then all of a sudden you have this idea for ezbds. Tell us how that happened.
Sure. In the financial world, you have all of these different factors that are driving stock prices, for example. You have news, you have company financial information coming out, you have social media now people are trading off of. And it's really important to be able to collate all of that into one cohesive story about what's going on. And health is exactly the same way. So for people with diabetes especially, there is just a ton of information that I'm generating all the time. Like I said, I've done nearly 10,000 finger pricks checking my blood sugar level. I have all of the food that I'm eating. I have exercise that I'm doing. If I'm feeling tired, didn't get enough sleep, slept a lot, stress, all of that conspires to drive your glucose levels up and down. And really being able to understand how all of that fits together and what the effect of this specific meal is on my glucose, or what happened the last few times I went running, for example, really allows me to have better control. And you can start to get a clearer picture of how your body responds to all of these different factors.
Now, when you have the app, are you inputting all of this data, or how does the app work itself?
Sure.
Do you integrate with any other devices, say for exercise, or
Sure.
I know you integrate with restaurant menus, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But so how does you've got inputs, and then you've got analysis, and you've got output. How does all that come together?
So for exercise especially, most of that is completely automated. So you have your phone on you, it's counting your steps all the time. You can see if you're running or you're bicycling. If you have a Fitbit or a Jawbone or all of these different devices, we connect to quite a few of them. For restaurants, as you mentioned, we'll pull in the restaurant menu. So it's really very easy to go out to a restaurant and pull up the menu. Comes right up on ezbds based on your location. It'll say, hey, are you sitting at this restaurant right now? You can say yes, choose what you're eating from the menu, or take a look at what you've eaten there before and see how it affected you in the past, and think about how you want to change things this time, or maybe you did great and you want to do exactly the same thing you did last time.
So, as I understand it now, so the app is going to make recommendations for you based on what you've eaten or how much you've exercised, and then how do you take that and share that data with your physician? Do you
Sure.
Do you take the app with you? Can you email your doctor some information off of the app?
Both.
Oh.
So myself and quite a few of the ezbds users do both. So ezbds has the functionality where you can email your doctor a list of all your, or I'm sorry, not a list, but a chart of all of your numbers, where they can really easily see how you look when you wake up, and how does your sugar look after you eat and after breakfast or before you go to sleep. And you can also bring the app in, and I do this all the time with, I have a great endocrinologist in New York, and I'll walk him through my numbers and what ezbds is saying is changing in my body. And then we can really focus on that and talk about it.
Now, how often do you see those changes? Is it on a regular basis, or have you kind of, I would imagine with the more data that you put in ezbds, it's going to paint a better picture, or a longitudinal record of your health. Are you seeing still a lot of fluctuation in what the app is telling you?
Absolutely. I think for me especially, I'm lucky enough not to be on mealtime insulin right now. So I have kind of what's called a latent autoimmune diabetes. So my pancreas is pushing out insulin as my body is attacking the beta cells that produce insulin. So for me, I definitely see, for a long time, my numbers were terrific and were just slightly above those of non-diabetics. And then as my body is changing, because it's constantly changing, you can really see ezbds alert me, something's up. This isn't the way that your numbers used to look. And then I'm able to go into my doctor and talk with him about how we want to address it and what medication changes we want to make. And that's the other place where ezbds, I think, has really impacted me. As I change my medication to adjust to my changing body, ezbds lets me know, this new dose of medication that you're taking is actually associated with better or more in-range glucose numbers than the last dose. So I can change my medication and be confident that what I'm doing is really helping me. That was really powerful for me, and it was really useful.
Yeah. So if you're living with diabetes, you're watching this show, we want to hear from you. The chat is to the right. Adam and I would love to know what you're thinking about this discussion. If you use other tools, we'd love to hear about those. We want you to reach out. We want you to download ezbds, give it a try, and report back to us. Let us know what you think, and Adam could use that feedback in future generations of the app. Adam, what differentiates your app with the other apps that are out there on the market?
The main thing that ezbds is concerned with is not just taking your information and feeding it right back to you. What we really want to do, what ezbds is all about, is digesting all of these different pieces of information that you're giving it, and then painting a complete, cohesive picture about what's going on in your body. So ezbds is pushing you real-time alerts based on how your body's changing, and pushing you real-time alerts based on how you respond to different activities. So maybe running really helps your blood sugar numbers. And everyone will tell you, you got to keep exercising. It's the best thing you can do for yourself, and it's true. But with ezbds, you get to see real-time feedback of, what days that you exercise, you're actually better than on days that you don't. So you can see your numbers look better when you go for a run.
Fascinating.
That was really motivating to me. It got me actually able to go and exercise.
I love stories about people who encounter a condition or a family member and then turn it around to do some good. And certainly that's what you're doing with ezbds. Now, without giving away any trade secrets here, what's on the horizon for ezbds?
There's so much more that ezbds can do. So the first thing is really continuing to paint a fuller picture about what's going on in your body, so that you really get the most detailed understanding of what's going on inside of your own body. One of the biggest challenges, I think the three big challenges that I've seen with people with diabetes, based on myself and my family, all the people that I've talked to and that ezbds has helped, is really day-to-day annoyances. Eating out is different. Going for a run is different. Going to sleep even is different. And ezbds is really helping you figure those things out one at a time. And there's more that I'm going to do there. The second thing is really diabetes can sap your confidence in your own body. There's something that's not working the way it's supposed to. And what I've found is that through a better understanding of your numbers and a better understanding of how all of these different factors play with you, you regain a lot of that confidence in your body. The third thing, I think, is this sense that you're not in control. A lot of times people with diabetes will think that they've done everything perfect, and a lot of times they have, and then you have a high glucose number. And what ezbds will help do, what it helps do today and what it'll continue to work to help do, is try to explain as much of that as possible. Some of it is just going to happen, but a lot of it can be explained, and we can see through your past experience how you're reacting to all these different things. So
you're mobile. Is there a desktop version as well?
So there's a version available. If you go to ezbds.com, you can, first of all, sign up for the mobile app, because I think that's the easiest way to use it. But you can also go and review all of your numbers on the desktop, and you can even sit down with your doctor and review all of those numbers and really get some benefit from it.
So can you also upload to medical records? So I know my personal physician has a medical record system, and I've got a secure login. I can see all my lab results and tests and things of that nature. If I'm using ezbds, can I upload that into that record?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But
on
one
the horizon.
Day. Yeah, it is definitely on the horizon.
So where can we find the app? First of all, is it an iPhone app, or what do you have?
We have it in the iTunes Store as well as Google Play. So it's available for iPhones as well as Android phones.
And the application, the desktop, is at ezbds.com.
ezbds.com.
Very good. Very good. Well, Adam, that's all we have time for today. I want to thank you once again for coming into the studio. I'd like to thank our viewers and members at home for tuning in. And last but not least, I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this all possible. Remember, all of our episodes can be found video on demand at healthyo360.com. Healthyo360 can also be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. And please don't forget to use the hashtag RealStories when posting. So on behalf of myself, Cortland Long, and everyone here at Healthyo360, we look forward to seeing you again next week.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those solely of the Healthyo360 hosts and our guests for this broadcast. These views and opinions do not in any way reflect the views and opinions of our sponsors, advertisers, or other organizations on Healthyo360, including our community members.